In the 2021 Warframe survey, asking players who they think are the most popular Warframes in the game, many have answered that it's the Monkey King Wukong. So why do almost all people in the survey say it's the Monkey King Wukong? Is it because of his look? In my opinion, the prime version of this Warframe is the sexiest skin he has right now. It's like a mix of Origin fashion with Super Saiyan cosplay from Dragon Ball Z. Just my opinion though, but the real answer to why Wukong is the most picked Warframe last year lies within his past rework. Wukong, before rework, was just a one-sided Warframe that only cares about surviving with his defiability. In the past, it was so broken that it gives you insane invulnerability duration, and you can endlessly abuse this by going with a primed flow, rage or hunter adrenaline build. As long as you have energy, you will always have that security that at a certain threshold, Wukong will activate his invulnerability. After a couple of activation, you can just turn off the ability. Then gather some health first with Magus Anomaly, then go back to being immortal again with Defy. It was an endless loop of immortality that made Wukong super famous. But then again, like I have said earlier, the Warframe was one-sided and only excels in long endurance runs. But there's also broken builds for Wukong in the past that should have not worked with the Warframe. One is the gas synergy with his Cloudwalker ability. In the past, Cloudwalker was slow, but it's very effective in terms of hiding Wukong. Before I even got to Warframe, gas was broken to the point that you can use the mighty Zenistar and throw its disc with a gas build, then just go into Cloudwalker and enemies will just die because of the gas damage proc. How lethal it is. Well, just imagine a scaling damage that ramps up fast, especially when enemies are close to each other. The most broken part is, being in Cloudwalker allows Wukong to take advantage of the stealth damage multiplier, and this will be applied to each gas procs. 2017 was a year for Monkey Mayhem, as Wukong's past first ability, called Iron Jab, was given insane nuking capability with the Iron Vault Augment. It synergies well with the Exodia Contagion, and each time you activate Iron Jab, then throw the projectile, and then go activate his Cloudwalker, enemies within a certain area will just die because of the insane nuke damage. It was broken because the Iron Vault Augment not only buffed the damage of Exodia Contagion, but also the range of the projectile, making it an absolute room clearer. Hell, Sarin was no match for Wukong back in 2017, as he can easily nuke enemies with the setup. But why did Wukong become so famous right now, squad leader, when he was that powerful in the past? We should consider his abilities as nerfs right now, I guess, as it's nowhere on par with the immortality and nuke power of Wukong before. Right? Well, if the nuking part was intended, then I would be very pissed off that Digital Extremes rework Wukong. But again, that was only a bug, and it had to go away. If you know the power of Wukong in the past, then you might also think that his kit right now is a nerf. However, this is not the case, as from a one-sided Warframe, Wukong has become so versatile in the game right now that I even can't argue with the survey results for the most played Warframe last year. Okay, let's talk about his abilities one by one, and determine how versatile this monkey is. First is his Celestial Twin. Now I know, some of you were very critical with this ability before release, as we got some bad experience with AI in the game. Sometimes, AI in the game are just dumb and it can't even help you with anything. Just take for example those dogs and cat companions, and as well as Equinox Duality Augment. If the dogs and cat companions didn't have something like the Martyr Symbiosis, or an ability to make them invisible, then they will probably be a burden. The same goes with Equinox Duality Augment. It's so dumb that players think that Wukong's clone will be no different. But in my opinion, Celestial Twin is on top when it comes to reliability. If we compare it to other AI in the game, it's because you have full control of the ability. You can command it to kill an enemy, and it does synergy with his other abilities. The developer did not just give Wukong a clone, but something that he can rely on in terms of damage. The clone does take to account all the mods you have equipped in your weapons, except for galvanized and weapon arcanes. When the clone kill a target, it won't proc the galvanized mods and the arcanes, which suggest that these things doesn't work with the Celestial Twin. If you want more damage, then you should use the Blade Charger and the Primary Charger Arcane in your Wukong. Not to mention that the clone can also boost the damage of the weapon they are wielding. In terms of survivability, Wukong's Celestial Twin takes whatever health you have and then multiply it depending on how much power strength you put in your build. The best part is, his armor is also affected by Defy, and healing mods like Healing Return can also use by the Twin. Even Warframe abilities like Gloom can also be utilized by the Twin, giving it insane survivability. If that's not enough, then you can use your Cloudwalker to heal the Twin, and make it invulnerable as long as your Cloudwalker ability is active. In fact, you can choose to use the invulnerability phase of the Twin and command it to wreak havoc against the enemies. One way of utilizing this is on missions like Kuvalich hunting. You can make use of the Cloudwalker trick to make your Twin invulnerable, and let it go face to face against your nemesis. Another reason why this is a great ability is that when you are using a melee weapon, it will use your range weapon and vice versa. So, you can actually create a condition overload combo with your Twin, which makes it even awesome. Also, crowd control. If you think that Wukong can't do defense mission, then you are wrong. You can choose to be defensive with his Celestial Stomp augment that allows you to command your Twin to perform a slam attack and suspend enemies in the air. Affected enemies will be suspended in the air for 6 seconds, and need 2 additional seconds to stand up and recover. While it's not affected by any duration mod, still, it's a great setup since it can be recast anytime. Also, the range is very wide when decide to have lots of range mods in your build, and the best part is, the stun go through obstacle, which means if you are behind a wall, enemies that are in the other side will get stunned by the clone. Wukong's Celestial Twin didn't just become a gimmicky skill, but an ability that every Wukong mains can rely upon. Next, while I don't like Defy right now, as the past immortality was out of this world, I still consider it as a good ability for Wukong in terms of survivability. I can also be a nuke ability if you mod it will, but don't expect the damage to scale better compared to other nuke abilities. It's also a good aggro ability, as the aggro is the same with your Twin, and you can use this ability to distract enemies from attacking any defense target. Overall, Defy is a good ability for me right now. The next ability is probably what made Wukong super famous. His Celestial Twin makes him interesting to play with, but his Cloudwalker right now is one of the best ability in terms of mobility and stealth. It's one of the fastest ability in the game that can par with the likes of Titania's Razor Wing without her augment. Also, it's super easy to use, and super effective in both spy missions and capture missions. Its speed allows you to capture targets easily, and then quickly head to the extraction point. Also, Wukong right now is useful in spy missions, and his Cloudwalker allows him to be undetected by those lasers in spy missions. The best part is, the movement of Cloudwalker is unrestricted and you can go up, down, right and left without any problems. It also has an interesting augment called Enveloping Cloud that makes allies go invisible, but I don't recommend it as its radius is too low even with a high power range build. Now, I wouldn't say that his rework was all good, as they have left something unturned, and that is his Iron Staff. This is a broken ability right now that needs fixing, and when I say broken, it's literally broken that many consider it as unusable. If you want a clear understanding of why Iron Staff is not a good exalted melee right now, then go check out the video I have pinned in the comment section below. But to give you a short answer, the damage is not that powerful compared to just using your clone with a melee weapon or even with a gun. Go check out the video I have pinned below, as I have also included a build which works perfectly for Wukong right now. Also, be sure to check back later, as I got another interesting Wukong video to share to you guys. As the title say, all Warframe should be Wukong's right now. What I mean by this is that, I hope that Digital Extremes will look at their recent survey on who is the most played, and then contemplate on what they have done with Wukong that makes the Warframe very popular right now. Because honestly, the only thing that can make other unpopular Warframes rise again is that the developer will make it versatile in 2 or more missions, and not just plain survivals. I am not saying that they should make all Warframes all-rounder, but what I'm suggesting is that, if they plan to rework other old Warframes, they should consider giving it 2 or 4 qualities on why a player should play it. If a Warframe is one-sided, then they should add some features that would make him or her superb in other aspects of the game. We all know that some players main specific Warframes, but we should also consider that others want variety, so I'm just suggesting making Warframes versatile just a bit, and not to the point that they will be completely broken in all missions. Wukong is a prime example of this, and I hope in the future, we will see other old Warframes get the same treatment as Wukong. Now, I would like to know, what Warframes do you want rework? Do you agree that old Warframes should have power-ups this year before the developer even proceeds to releasing new ones? Let me know in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.